The criminals, of course, thrive on smuggling. The hotels are makeshift huts created a few years ago and are named after their owners. The menus are simple Bengali affair. But business is roaring for all the eateries, which have an exclusively Bangladeshi clientele. Apart from the eateries, there are a few lodges along the Bongaon-Bagda road, which put a roof over their heads at night. Along the border villages, there are so-called linemen or ghatmen who are controlled by the bossman. Their agents are spread throughout the Jaintipur market. It is not very hard to hunt out these agents. Through Bongaon border, one has to simply reach the bus station or the bazaar. These agents do not take risks, but they instantly hunt out the new faces. Once the client agrees, he is given a slip of paper. He takes a slip of paper and travels to Jaintipur bazaar. For the local crime-shy villager, this entry of a passenger, his hunger and his need for shelter are what bring home the bacon. But there are some more difficult routes. The erosion on the banks of the Ganga in the Murshidabad district is now being used to advantage by the infiltrators. The area near Dhulian and Jalangi, severely affected by erosion, offers excellent opportunities to come over without raising the suspicion amongst the police and the local people in some of the districts in North Bengal. The method adopted is staggering in its simplicity. Families cross the Ganga and put up in makeshift shanties and tents on the riverbank, pretending to be victims of flood and erosion which have claimed their homes. They move further on to acquaint themselves with the law of the land. A few weeks more in Murshidabad and they head to where they have decided to settle. They buy land and cattle with the money they have got by selling off their properties in Bangladesh. While adults look for employment opportunity and cultivate land, the young infiltrators from Bangladesh have adopted a more devious way of entering illegally. They enter border schools, madrasas, that provide the training for certificates. A school-leaving certificate ensures that the infiltrating youth not only gets a ration card, but a claim to citizenship. The next step towards entering West Bengal is to get included in the voters' list. All political parties are guilty of allowing this to happen. In a rundown restaurant opposite the Bongaon station, one comes across a boy. He's a Bangladeshi and came looking for a job just 2 weeks ago.
The problem of Bangladeshi infiltration in India is of a very great magnitude, which is affecting not only the overstretched economy of our country, but also it is affecting indirectly, to a great extent, the security scenario. Estimate about the total infiltration is not or cannot be given an accurate figure, but what can be gauged on some palpable evidence that all over India, the total migration can lead to a number of about 10 million, that is about 1 crore.
You ought to see the railway colony in Bungaon. It is full of people from Bangladesh who have come over between 1971 and now. They all have ration cards and feature in the voters list. Travelers from Bangladesh on a month's visit establish contact with their relatives. And a few days before the visas expire, they go to the checkpost and get documents stamped, suggesting that they have gone out of the country. Passports are destroyed, and the travelers become settlers. The infiltrators are being categorized into 3 types by the administration. Those who have come in over the past decade or more and are settled good and proper. The second category are those who entered 3 or 4 years ago and are still floundering, unable to strike roots. The last types are the infiltrators who have just sneaked in. These people are the ones without relatives, contacts, and little money to bribe their way. These last types are the ones who are pushed back. To be able to detect and deport the infiltrators, public support is necessary. People in the state need to be made aware of the likely repercussions of infiltration. The BJP feels strongly that Muslims from neighboring countries have been coming over as a deliberate demographic move. Conceived and nursed by the pan-Islamic movement and financed by the petrodollars. That fundamentalists are active in some border districts of the state is evident. Recently it has been observed that ISI had been changing its game plan as it was facing acute dearth of fresh recruits. The Bangladeshis living in shanty colonies are being exploited by the ISI agents.